Good morning. Good morning. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Coachman on Real Estate. Coachman on Real Estate. Hope everyone's having a great day. It is Thursday, February 11th. Here in San Jose, it's about 49 degrees today. Hey, I've got a topic that a lot of people are interested in, and a lot of people are talking about, and it's actually three different topics. But it's all about housing and how are we going to handle our housing problems in the years to come. Here we have about 5,000 people or so that are homeless in Santa Clara County. And we're looking for ways to help reduce the cost of housing for people that are working in different industries that aren't making that $150,000 to $200,000 a year to make this a more affordable place. Now, there are three things that folks are taking a look at. Something called opportunity housing, social housing, and then tiny houses. Tiny houses being used for families as a source, as a resource, as they transition into more stable and regular housing. So that's those are the three topics that I plan on covering today. And they're important subjects. And it can affect the neighborhoods that we are living in. So it's really important. Well, one of the things that I like to do to get started with my shows each day is to give birthday shout outs. And today it's for Mayan T. Nguyen. Mayan is a wonderful lady that I've known for many, many years. And she came over to the U.S. when Vietnam was being closed up and being shut down or being taken over by the North. And her story is one of the stories that just makes America one of the greatest nations on earth. So Mayan, wishing you a very happy birthday. And if it's your birthday out there, wishing you a happy birthday also. Have a great day, Mayan. Again, this is Coachman on Real Estate, and I am Charles Coachman. You can reach me by texting or calling 408-439-0766 or emailing me at Coachman, O-N-R-E, that is Coachman on Real Estate at gmail.com, Coachman, O-N-R-E. And one of the things that I like to say, and I have been saying it for a number of years, the buying and selling of real estate is a team business, and no team is complete without the coach. No team is complete without the coach. So I want to get back in and start discussing what the topic was for today. And I've laid out a few little talking points. Opportunity housing. Is it right for San Jose? Well, let's change that because I think San Jose needs to be capitalized. So is opportunity housing right for San Jose? This is something that's going to be discussed over the next several months, and we've got to get this figured out. It is huge. What is opportunity housing? Well, one of the things that's come up over the last several months is that Sacramento stopped the building of single-family residences. Opportunity housing in San Jose says that is not part of their plan to stop the building of single-family homes. But it does want to densify neighborhoods. The plan is about densifying San Jose. And what does that mean? It is talking about making a city that where the median priced home is $1.2 million and taking it and making more affordable housing within established neighborhoods in San Jose. Now, the argument has been, should we do that? Or should we continue with our plans of those areas that we are already building, that are dense, considered dense housing, density housing? We want to make sure that we're doing that. And you want to make sure that it's close to all the areas where you can catch light rail, where you can catch BART. But I can tell you right now, in real estate, this is just from a realtor's point of view, is that people are very leery of dense housing right now. Yes, we've got some problems to solve, but because of the pandemic, people are leery about wanting to live on top of each other, wanting to live where you open your front door and you can literally meet your neighbor at the front door. Such it's in condos and townhomes right now and apartment buildings. People are a little leery of that. What effect will that have on the plans? What effect will that have on the plans for building duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, and even sixplexes? We have to take a look at that. Again, like somebody had already mentioned as I was speaking earlier, they're saying, let's stay with the plan where we're building dense housing as is. But what this is about coming into neighborhoods, established neighborhoods, and where there is a lot available. And if a homeowner decides to sell, or they've got a large enough lot to go ahead and put that fourplex on there, go ahead and put that threeplex, that duplex. We do have neighborhoods throughout San Jose where those are already in, but they were part of the plan when they were first built. So people are concerned. People will concerned. Now, Opportunity Housing says that this will not be a mandate. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, in Sacramento was the first city in the state to ban single-family homes. There will not be any more single-family homes being built in Sacramento. And so now was the perfect time for the group in San Jose to strike while the iron was hot and try and do the same thing. Here's one of the topics that is not being discussed openly, but it's one that has been addressed. There are two goals here: addressing racial and economic exclusion that's historically occurred for more than 80 years, and providing opportunities for people who want to live in a single-family environment and can go to those schools, but who can't afford to buy a single-family home in San Jose. We are letting people know that, hey, because of racial inequality and economic exclusion, we are going to be building homes in established neighborhoods. We're going to be building those triplexes, the fourplexes, the duplexes. Is that what we want? Will the citizens of San Jose have a right to vote on that. We need to know. We need to know. And then one last thing while we're on that. What impact will this type of housing have on our water and sewage systems? Well, take a look at what's going on today. If you build a home, you get a huge invoice from the city if you are going to be adding on to your sewer system and adding additional water. How are we going to cover that? Is our sewer system built to take that on? Those are things that we have to talk about. Now, the person and people that are pushing this are saying that will have little or no effect. But anything that affects the use of water, anything that affects our sewer systems is not good for the city. And we know that. And we have been fighting doing additional things for years. So if we keep on working where those areas of dense housing are already being built and make more of those for low cost housing, that is probably the way to go. That is probably the way to go. Now I'm going to pull off that topic, and there was another housing initiative being talked about in Sacramento. They are proposing a revolutionary social housing policy. And the person that brought this up was talking about housing that's done in Vienna, Austria, and Singapore. But this is not Austria and this is not Singapore. What they are saying that the state should do is purchase the land, build the buildings, maintain the property, and then let people move in and stay there. This is not transitional housing. This is permanent housing. And the state would maintain the property. The state has enough problems trying to deal with all of our state issues, but when it comes to owning property and taking care of it for individuals, it's probably best left in the hands of professionals. We're not sure what the state wants to do with it. The person that proposed this, Assembly Member Alex Lee, proposed it and said, hey, this is one of the ways we got to think out of the box. We need to do this. But he didn't propose on how to fund it. Everybody knows buying land in California is very expensive. Buying property in cities like San Jose is very, very expensive. So we've got to take a look at it. We have got to take a look at that. It says, and this is according to Assemblymember Lee, with the ultimate goal of housing as many people as possible of all incomes, social housing programs will invest in affordable living costs and maintenance of property. In contrast to private developers, we can build without an inherent need to turn a profit. So what does that mean? Are we going to have homes built? And are we going to be collecting enough money to pay for the building, for everything that needs to be done? And then on top of that, the maintenance of these buildings and the caring for those buildings? I don't see how. But in our movement towards new ways of doing things in the US, this may be exactly what we're looking for. Although he does not have a way of funding this yet and has not proposed a way of funding it, it is being said that some of the proceeds from rent or house payments can go back into the upkeep of the property. Housing advocates love the idea, but say a statewide initiative like this would require enormous state investment and lots of government oversight. So more bureaucracies. That is not what we want. Or is it? Is California truly going to be one of those nations? And I guess we can call it a nation. It's certainly California's economy is one of the top 10 in the world. Is this something that Californians want to take on? Is this something that we want to take on? Ray Bramson, Chief Operating Officer of Destination Homes, said the biggest hurdle would be funding, something the state is lacking right now. One of the other people that's pushing this says it would practically require a revolution. And again, Ray Bramson has to say, I think it comes down to the investment. This is a strategy that can and will produce large housing opportunities at scale, but it needs deep financial investment and commitment from the state to make it feasible and a reality. And a reality. And again, Lee's bill, it says here in this article, does not include a funding mechanism yet. And while I really love the concept of social homes, there are many successful countries where the tax structure is much more geared toward effective social programs, said Branson, who also writes a column on housing and homeless for this news organization. Funding is the beginning and the end. And this article is coming from San Jose Spotlight. And it was written by Madeline Reese and Jennifer Loving. So we have to take a look and we have to understand what we are going to be getting into ourselves, whether it's opportunity housing or whether it's social housing. We have to take a look at that. Now, one of the things that San Jose has been doing, and they're starting to get better and better with it, is transitional housing for homeless. They've just opened up another center where they're going to be able to take care of at least 100 people. They're building transitional housing, basically 100 square foot room. Are basically their outdoor sheds, which are converted to be used for transitional housing. And some people are loving it. You know what? It's the only thing that they have. It's the only thing that's available to them. And it gives homeless people an opportunity to get off the streets. Now that I am all for. That I can get behind. I don't know how you feel. How are you feeling about opportunity housing? About plans of densifying San Jose? They're saying opportunity housing would not be a mandate, but it could possibly lead to that. So we need to make sure that we are doing the right thing. And homeless families getting the keys to tiny new homes This is important. This is an important task. And these homes are supposed to be, I believe it gives folks 3 months, 3 months to get into a new property, and it helps them relocate. But building these tiny homes where folks can go ahead and get off the streets is probably one of the better things that we can do. We don't want to make forever housing, but we do want to back up temporary housing and make sure that we can help people to get off the streets. And there are a lot of different groups that are included in that. So it's time. It's time to take a look. It's time to figure out if this is something that we want to do as a city, that we want to do as a state. Well, that was my topic for today, and it was centered all around housing and the cost of housing and helping our homeless. And I think there's probably no more important topic for the people of Santa Clara County on how we can help those that are not making $150,000 to $250,000 a year to buy a medium priced home. But how can we help those that are fighting to just pay a rent? Just pay a rent that's high in the Bay Area, and especially in the Silicon Valley. Although it has come down, we have to take a look at it, and we have to come up with solutions. And I applaud these people for coming up with solutions, but I don't think that what we want to do is tax ourselves into a point where it's no longer affordable for those of us that live in San Jose to keep paying our mortgage and funding the state. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Coachman on Real Estate. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And if you'd like to share this out, we would love for you to do that. Sharing is caring, as we like to say. So I will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Have a great day. I look forward to talking with you then.